So I was kicked out of the secret cooking club. Turns out, I kept spilling the beans. It's about a 7 out of 10, I think.
Perfect.
Hello there, broskies. Erkin back here with something a little fresher than normal. On today's episode, we are having a look at the Air Force One Fresh. Now the living legend, the classic, probably the most iconic shoe of all time, the Air Force One. There's not much out there that's better than a white on white Air Force One, and it is one of the longest serving shoes by Nike, and there's plenty of reasons for it, but there is a lot of stigma behind it, in particular the creasing to the shoe. And I've got to say, that's the reason I don't own a pair of all white leather Air Force Ones. I've got a couple of the Flyknit Air Force Ones, but that's about it. And I know there's like Air Force One cultists, but hear me out. I like being comfortable in my shoes, so if I have to worry about how I'm walking, how I'm looking every 2 minutes down below to see if it's creased or not, I'm not really for it. But Nike are claiming this one, you don't have to worry about it. Now we are only going to be able to tell over time, but the day I've spent with these, I have noticed they don't crease as easily. But before any of that, I'll leave some purchase links down below where I can, just in case you want to get a pair, especially for the summer. Now in terms of the box, it does come in your sort of regular standard Air Force One box, in this very dark grey and with the metallic Air Force One branding in the middle. And just like we have on the outsole of the Air Force One, the tissue paper does come with stars on it, which for me is a nice touch. Now the product sticker itself does read Air Force One 2007 Fresh. And the official colorway, yes, you guessed it, it's white, white and white. Now before we touch on what's a little different in terms of the appearance of the shoe, let's talk about the sizing. Now thankfully the sizing, it doesn't really change here. For me, the classic leather Air Force One, I've always gone half a size down at least. Because of the bulk of the shoe, I've always felt going half a size down is always best. So whatever you're used to in your classic Air Force One, then I'd say stick to it. But short story long, for me, I go half a size down. Right, let's see how fresh these actually are and what Nike has done differently. Now at first glance, you couldn't tell one bit that this is any different to your regular Air Force One. The white on white is just a staple classic. And in terms of appearance, there's the only subtle change here. Now the leather that Nike have used isn't the most premium and it's sort of got that Nike Dunk feel to it and what most other Air Force Ones come in. It's sort of that plastic / synthetic leather. I'm not too sure what they've done differently here though to sort of prevent the looks of creasing. But for the few hours that I have been wearing these, I've got to say Nike have defo done something different. It doesn't really look like this shoe can misshape very easily. Now the rest of this shoe, especially on the upper, looks exactly the same. These do come with spare sets of white laces as well, just in case you get the ones that come in a little dirty. I suppose Nike had to give us something to justify that price hike. Now the tongue in itself is way different here. Instead of a tongue tab, we have embossed the Nike Air and Air Force One branding in the middle. And the tongue in itself is probably the most premium feeling part about the shoe. It's a very soft leather feel. Now the sock liner in itself is of this leather and it might create a little bit of heel slippage if you don't get your sizing right. But moving on to the insole, it is fully perforated, which is meant to create a more breathable feel. And to finish off, we have that fresh towards the back. Now I almost forgot, stitched in at the back of the tongue, it has easy to clean, breathable and soft leather. Now to be fair, only 2 of those might be right, because the soft leather, I'm not so sure. The only soft leather panel on here is towards the back at the heel counter and the tongue. The rest of it feels as plastic as ever. And that's pretty much it with the upper. There's nothing exciting here, of course, being a classic Air Force One and all. And the midsole and outsole does come in this classic Air Force One finish. And for me personally, apart from the Air Max 90 and the Air Max 1, this is the best outsole. So although Nike have done something a little different to this Air Force One, it is pretty much the same. But I guess they're not trying to fix something that's not really broken, you know? But with the things they have changed, I've still got to decide, broskies, whether this classic is a buy or a buy. Now it's pretty much a given, a white on white Air Force One, can you really get better? I don't really think so. And even if they've fixed a fraction of the creasing to this shoe, I'm all for it. The only thing sort of holding me back from keeping these is of course the price hike. For what it is at £110, it's not one of those shoes anymore that you can just buy and then wear them once or twice and then throw them and get a new pair. So okay, price hike aside, if Nike have done these things differently that they do claim they have done, making it a lot more breathable, easier to clean apparently, and of course hiding the creases, if they've done those three, then take my money, just take it. But to be fair, most of these things you can only sort of tell over time, so that's what it's going to take. By even wearing these for a few hours, I can defo see they've done something different with the creasing. I'm not sure if they've coated the materials in something or even used a different material entirely. But putting all these pieces together, I've defo got to recommend these. A white on white Air Force One, it's pretty hard to say no. Of course, I'm going to give this Air Force One Fresh an absolute. Anyways broskies, thank you for stopping by. Leave your comments down below and let me know what you think about this Air Force One Fresh. Have Nike justified that price hike, and is this a pair that you're looking to get? Leave it all down below and I will pin the best comment. And don't forget to hit me up on Instagram as well, in case you have any questions or just want to show me some love. I'm most active over there. And whilst you're here, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment and share. And of course, till the next episode, take care.